Is social media destroying meaning? The question of whether social media is destroying meaning is not merely academic, it is a profound query that strikes at the core of contemporary human existence. While the platforms themselves are ingenious feats of engineering designed to connect and inform, their rapid and ubiquitous integration into daily life has produced unexpected and often challenging side effects on how we perceive, create, and sustain meaning. It's easy to dismiss the argument as technophobia, but a closer, more empathetic look reveals a subtle, pervasive erosion of the very fabric that gives our lives depth and coherence. This erosion stems primarily from three interconnected phenomena: the tyranny of the ephemeral, the commodification of identity, and the fragmentation of attention. The tyranny of the ephemeral is perhaps the most visible mechanism of meaning destruction. Historically, the creation of meaning, whether in art, philosophy, relationships, or craftsmanship, required sustained effort, contemplation, and a commitment to longevity. A meaningful work was one that endured, transcending the immediate moment. Social media, however, operates on the logic of the feed. Content is prioritized not by its depth or enduring value, but by its recency and immediate virality. The dopamine hit of a like or a share is instantaneous, but the content itself is instantly disposable, sliding down the infinite feed into oblivion. This creates a cultural imperative where speed trumps substance. We are incentivized to produce and consume a massive volume of lightweight, easily digestible, and immediately replaceable content. This perpetual cycle trains our brains to seek instant gratification and abandon the hard, slow work of generating deep, durable meaning. The profound realization about life that takes months of reflection is drowned out by the 100 new memes that appear in an hour. Secondly, social media has ushered in the commodification of identity. Meaning in life is fundamentally tied to authenticity and the internal compass that guides our choices and values. But on these platforms, the self becomes a performance, an edited, curated, and marketable product. We are encouraged to brand ourselves, to define our worth not by our internal character or private achievements, but by our public reception. Our struggles become content, our relationships become couple goals, and our political stances are reduced to easily shareable infographics. The pursuit of meaning shifts from an internal journey of self-discovery to an external campaign for validation. When identity is commodified, its authenticity is compromised. The meaning we derive from our lives becomes hollow, depending not on the inherent value of our actions, but on the applause of a distant, anonymous audience. If the performance is what matters, then the internal, unshareable experience, the quiet joy, the private struggle, the unphotographed moment of reflection, loses its significance, and in doing so, loses its power to generate personal meaning. Finally, the fragmentation of attention undermines the cognitive framework necessary for meaningful engagement. Deep meaning requires synthesis, the ability to connect disparate ideas, experiences, and emotions into a coherent narrative. This process is impossible without sustained, focused attention. Social media is a relentless engine of distraction, designed to maximize time on site through perpetual novelty and interruption. The average user moves rapidly between different contexts, from a serious news report to a comedic animal video, to an advertisement for a consumer product. This constant jarring shift prevents the mind from settling into the state of flow or deep contemplation required to process complex information or internalize significant experiences. When attention is fractured into micro-moments, it becomes impossible to weave the disparate threads of life into a single, rich, and meaningful tapestry. We collect experiences, but we fail to integrate them, leaving us feeling busy, informed, and connected, yet fundamentally hollow. The meaning isn't destroyed outright. It simply cannot coalesce in the maelstrom of constant shallow data intake. The way forward is not to abandon these tools, which is unrealistic, but to recognize the hidden costs they impose on our inner lives. The antidote to the destruction of meaning lies in actively cultivating spaces for slowness, internal validation, and sustained focus. This means carving out time for activities that resist the logic of the feed, reading long-form books, engaging in solitary creative work, holding conversations that are not optimized for a soundbite, and deliberately keeping significant moments private. Only by asserting our cognitive and emotional independence from the demands of the digital stage can we reclaim the capacity for deep, quiet, and enduring meaning in our hyper-connected world. If this deep dive into the modern dilemma resonated with you, imagine the conversations we could spark by exploring even more nuanced corners of the digital world. Don't let these ideas just scroll by. Drop a comment below and share your own thoughts on this crucial question. What's your personal experience? If you appreciate content that challenges the surface level, please hit that like button. It helps these thoughtful discussions reach more people. And to stay tuned for our next exploration into the philosophy of everyday life, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Let's build a community committed to seeking real meaning.